Hello guys, welcome to the second and final part of this Amplify and Next.js video series. So in the previous video, we did set up our application both front-end and back-end, where we have used Next.js for our front-end and Amplify for our back-end. Additionally, we added cognitive authentication using Amplify. Okay, let me show you the app. Currently I am in the login screen. Let me add my username. And my password and click sign in. The home page gets loaded. So if you haven't watched that video, please do, because I'm starting the project from where I left off. Now what we have to do now if you are following along, you know what I have to do next. We need another page to edit user details. Since we need to store user details, we will need a database, and we need some method to talk with that database. Guys, that's where AppSync API comes in. AppSync is a GraphQL API provided by AWS. AppSync will do all the heavy lifting. You don't have to connect or create DynamoDB tables. You don't have to write queries and mutations. All these will be done automatically. You will see later. Okay, now I'm in the project. Open the terminal in your project directory. I can use this down here. Type in Amplify and API. Select GraphQL. Select the default name, API key. Enter the description, none. After how many days? 7. And select no, I'm done. Do you want to have an annotated GraphQL schema? No. And single object with fields. And do you want to edit the schema now? No. Okay, now as I have told you in the previous tutorial, this Amplify directory will store our GraphQL schema. Go to Amplify, Backend, API and schema.graphql file. Now guys, this is where we can edit our schema. We will use a simple schema with one model. Go to my blog post and paste this GraphQL schema. By the way guys, all the codes that we are trying here will be available in this blog post as well. You will see a link to this blog post in the video description, and let me copy it here. Okay, and paste it down here. What we got? We got ID, we got first name, last name, description and image. Save this. And guys, if you are new to GraphQL APIs, you can check our separated GraphQL tutorials where we talk about modeling GraphQL relations and GraphQL notations in depth. Now, after editing our schema, in order to push those changes into the cloud, you know by now, we have to follow that with an Amplify push. Type in Amplify push and press enter. Now this will ask, are you sure you want to continue? Say yes. And do you want to generate code for your newly created GraphQL API? Say yes. Select JavaScript and accept the default. And this will take some time. Let me fast forward this. Yeah, and it is done. In order to view our API in the AWS console, type in Amplify API console and select GraphQL. This should open a new window. Yeah, it does. And yeah, you could play around with some GraphQL operations here, and we see that our queries were created. That means our schema worked successfully. Now back into our project. Now we have added the AppSync API. Now it's time to add our new page, the edit user page. In our pages directory, create a new file called edit-user. Now be careful when naming this file, because this will be the route name of our edit user page. Basically that's how Next.js works. Now in this file, pasting this code which is available in my blog post. Paste it up here, and now we will add the profile image option later. For now, this is fine. We got this form and we got these state variables, we got first name, we got second name, and we got description. And at the end of our form, we got this button which will trigger the submit handler function. Now we need to complete this submit handler function. Before that, let me show you the form. And I ran the project here. Type in the route, should be edit user, edit dash user. We got this nice form here. Now let's focus on the submit handler function. This function should save user details in our DynamoDB table. Now, as always, in our front-end application, we don't talk directly to our database. We will talk through an AppSync API. Since I want to save time, I will copy this code from our blog post. I'm sorry guys if you don't like this code copying thing. I wish I could type in all the code. If I do, I would go all around the place. This tutorial will be 4 hours long, I think. Don't worry, I will walk you through the code. Paste it up here. We need to move it here. In here, we got this auth.currentAuthenticated user function. This will do exactly what the name suggests. It will return details about currently logged in user. Yeah, and this is the basic way to call an AppSync API. You can see that by adding this ID, I'm expecting to build that relation between Cognito user and our database user. So every logged in user has an attribute called sub, a unique attribute. So I'm using that attribute in our user table. Okay, at the end I'm console logging the result. Now if we get to here, that means our code works. Now let's try this. And let me reload just to make sure. Let me open the console window, move it up here. Let's add the first name, second name, and some description. And click submit, and if we go to console window, yeah, it worked. We got this data, created user, yeah, it worked. Now how the data will get saved, where the data will get saved, you don't have to worry about any of these. That is the best advantage of using AppSync API along with Amplify. Now what should be the aim of this edit user page? Now if the user has already added the details, we want to show them at first. That is what we are going to do next. I will show you. Copy this code from the blog post and paste it up here. Next.js has some really cool functions when it comes to data fetching. Get server-side props is one of them. This function here will get called at pre-rendering stage. That means this code gets executed before rendering our page. Perfect for this scenario. Let me go back here and add the imports. If I explain the code now, this with_SSR context is an Amplify library specially built for this server-side rendering purpose. And we can destructure this auth and API class from that. Next, in the try block, what I am doing here is I am coding users by their IDs. And if the logged in user is related, I will get that response. If I get the response, I would return this object, mod into edit, and I will return the user and I will return the error false. Else, that means the user is yet to add details. I would return a mode into add and error into false. Now this is the try block. In the catch block, I would simply return error into true. In our edit user component, we can expect those parameters. We got error, mode, and user. Now, if the mode is edit, that means user have already added the details. We have to set that initial values. I would use a ternary operator to that. If the mode is edit, that means we got to use that user object and first name. Otherwise, this should be null. Let's copy and paste it to other variables as well. If the mode is edit, this should be user.last name, and the last one should be user.description. Down here, we are setting those initial values in the form. We got first name, we got second name, and we got description. When we are calling our GraphQL API, that operation must be changed according to the mode. Ternary operator in here as well. The mode is edit. I want to use GraphQL operation update user. Now if we go into here, I forgot to show earlier, we got these different GraphQL mutations. All these are generated automatically. We got create user, we got update user, we got delete user. Now those are the operations that we are importing here. Now this API call gets loaded and we are console logging the import. At the end, let's navigate back to home page. Window.location.href. This should be window. And at the home route. Alright, let's test this out. Back to our edit page. Let's refresh it. Initial values get loaded. Let's update this. Something new about me. Let's submit. Should navigate back to home page. Yeah, it worked. Back into edit user page. Yeah, initial values have been updated. And guys, just to show you how to work with S3, I will add another functionality to let users add the profile image. So in this edit user form, the users could also add their profile images. If an user can have a profile image, we need to save that profile image in a storage. The best way to add storage in an Amplify backend is to add a S3 bucket. Now, working with S3 really gets easier with Amplify. Let me show you. And also guys, this will be the third service that I'm going to use in this video series. First, we used auth, then we used API. Now we are going to use storage. As we have done throughout the tutorial, we need to add storage from running Amplify add, and this time it is storage. So run Amplify add storage in your terminal. Select default content and select default friendly name, default values of users only. We need to create, read and delete operations. Do you want to add a number trigger? No. And we need to follow this with an yes, Amplify push. This will create a new S3 bucket. Are you sure you want to continue? Say yes. Let me fast forward the process. and done. In order to weave our S3 bucket in AWS console, type in Amplify console. Now, guys, this Amplify admin UI is a quite new feature that they have added to Amplify. If you are interested, you can check our dedicated video for this Amplify admin UI. Here, I will use Amplify console. You should navigate into this page. We have been here before. This time select file storage and select weave in S3. Let's wait until it gets loaded. Down here. At the moment, we don't have any files here. I will show you after adding something. Now back into our project. Now I did create a fancy image uploader component. Let's add that. Basically, this image uploader will instantly show you a preview on the uploaded image. So in our components folder, create a new file called imageuploader.js. And also we need to paste these styles in our global.css file. You should find it under styles directory and global.css file. Let's paste it here. Let's close these unwanted tabs. We don't need this. And back in our edit user page, we need to use that component. So in our form, paste this code here. And I got some new state variables as well. And let's paste it up here. Don't worry, I will walk you through this code, and we need to add these imports as well. Now we got this long import list, but guys, it does the job. However, quick pro tip guys, when working with Amplify in React applications, you can see that these files get really crowded with these functions. What we could do is we can avoid that by creating custom hooks for these functions. Not at first, but definitely that is something you could improve over time. Down here we got this image uploader component. On image upload, this function will get triggered. In here basically we are storing this image file in a variable. This user image state variable will store our image file. And this edit image is a boolean state variable that we can use to know if the user wants to edit the image or not. So if the user wants to edit the image, we will show that image uploader component. Otherwise we will show this Amplify S3 image component and this button. Amplify S3 image component is another Amplify UI library component provided by AWS. All we need to pass is the file name, and this component will preview the image. Okay, let's test this out. Yeah, we got this image uploader component. Now after selecting an image and pressing the submit button, we have to do two things. This image should get uploaded into our S3 bucket, and our image file name should be stored in our database. Let's update our submit handler function. I will copy this code and paste it under our method. Yeah, we need this import. Type in npm install uuid. So basically we can use this uuid npm package to generate a unique string value. So did I forget something? No, I don't think so. Let me walk you through the code. If the user uploaded an image, we need to generate a new file name with this unique string value. And if the user has already uploaded an image, we need to remove that first. That is what we are exactly doing here. We can delete a S3 file by calling storage.remove method. And as an argument, we have to give our file name. Since we are storing our file name in our table, we can call user.image and it will return our file name. If I talk about storage class, storage is another class provided by Amplify library. Just like auth and API, this storage class got these methods like remove and put. Once the previous image is removed, we need to upload the new one. We can do that by running storage.put method. We need to pass three parameters. We need to pass our file name and our image file and our image file type. This should upload our image into our S3 bucket. The uploaded image will have that file name that we have just passed. Only one more thing to do here. We need to store that image file name in our user table. So add an extra value called image. User could submit without uploading the new image. So if the user image is not empty, return our new file name. Otherwise, keep the previous one. And that's about it. Oh, one last thing. If you remember, in our server-side props function, we return our error status. If something goes wrong, we return error true. Why not use it down here? If error is true, we will return an h1 tag saying something went wrong, please try again later. Let's recheck. In our Amplify S3 image component, we will pass that image key, which we will store in our user table. Now if we were to test this, we can upload a new file and click submit. Get rendered to home page, and if we go back to the user page, the uploaded image will get showed. Now if we were to edit that image again, just to test that storage.remove function, upload a new image, click submit. Back in our home page, if we go to edit user page again, the newest file will get showed. Now let's quickly go back into our S3 management console to see if we can see this file. Let's refresh and move it to public folder. It is there. This means our two functions worked fine. And now you got this nice application that you can modify. How about letting users post content here? I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial series. This will be the final video for Amplify and Next.js series. And guys, we post content like this regularly, so if you like our content and want to get future updates, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching.